Well, as Memorial Day approaches, the nation is still reeling from the tragic violence in Texas this week with competing but familiar talking points on how best to eliminate such senseless violence. You know, the continuous drumbeat from the left, more gun control, even as they overlook the root causes that we are going to have to address. And we're going to talk about that later. But joining me now to touch on this, as well as the state of our military, is Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler. She serves on the House Armed Services Committee, the House Agriculture Committee. She represents Missouri's 4th Congressional District. Vicky, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Oh, thank you, Tony. It's good to be here.
Now, I know this is very close to you in personal. Simply, I mean, you're a mother, a grandmother, but a former teacher. You've been in the classroom. How does that inform your reaction to the news that we've heard this week out of Texas?
Well, it just breaks my heart. I was a school teacher for many years. I am a mother, and just the thought that any child could lose their life, especially at the hands of a terrorist, a shooter like this, is just so sad. It's tragic, and we've got to do everything we can to protect these kids and make sure this doesn't happen again. And,
you know, we hear the same old thing. You know, we have these calls for more gun control, you know, mental health spending. And look, there's room for that conversation. But, you know, we're failing to really get at the heart of the matter. And I know that having been in the classroom, you see the effects of the collapse of the family.
Oh, it really is. And it goes back to the family, it goes back to the heart issue. It's a spiritual issue. And, you know, we just need to reach out to every young person around us, no matter what their home life, and let them know that they are loved, that God has a plan and purpose for them, and that, you know, there's no reason to be violent towards anyone. But at the same time, we need to harden our schools. And it's just sickening to me to see the potential that this individual just walked into a school, an unlocked door. And so I think there's more that can be done to make sure that these individuals cannot access our children. And I introduced the police officers protecting children, and I've been working on that for the last couple of years to allow off-duty or retired police officers to the ability to carry a gun on school grounds if the local school wants them to. And I think there's just some common sense things that we can do like that to add more protection for our kids, while at the same time reaching out and working with young people and helping them.
Yeah, and I think in order to express children, let them know that they're valued and loved, we have to allow a conversation of faith back into that space once again. Before we run out of time, Congresswoman Hartzler, I want to move to the issue of our military. You sit on the House Armed Services Committee, the president today speaking before the U.S. Naval Academy, talking about the challenges, and this is a defining decade. But I just also today, Senator Marco Rubio from Florida went after the Air Force because the Air Force is having drag queen story time on Air Force bases in Germany. I mean, how in the world can this type of stuff help us fight and defend wars, and defend our country?
It can't. That is lunacy. I cannot even believe this is taking place when we have so many serious national security issues right now facing us. We look at what's going on in Russia. We look at the threat from China, Kim Jong-un just sending off more missiles out of North Korea and Iran, very close to nuclear capability. And at the same time, we have the Air Force doing this over in Germany. It just shows the wrong priorities of this administration. And we need to get back to the mission of the military, and that is to fight and win wars or deter wars. And that has started to be eroded, starting with under President Obama. And now under President Biden, it is continuing, and we have to reverse course or we're going to be in serious trouble.
Yeah, in fact, that's what General Milley says. He doesn't say we need to reverse course, but he does say we're going to be in trouble. We're losing our edge, and I think this is why. Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler, always great to talk with you. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday afternoon.
You bet. Thank you, Tony.